Welcome back to the AgriSpec Tom channel. Today we are discussing the overuse of glyphosate and its impact on the agricultural sector. Let's get into the video. Big news broke last week as ADAS released research which confirmed they had found the first glyphosate-resistant ryegrass in the UK. Research up here, it broke on Friday, and to be fair, are any of us that shocked? Not really, for those of us who've been expecting it for a while, but also for those who have experienced what they believe to be glyphosate-resistant ryegrass already. And to be fair, overuse of glyphosate has led to this, and similar to blackgrass, it's going to be a big problem. Well, it's already a big problem for many people, and managing it, now that we know that it's actually here and actually a problem, is going to be not just using more chemicals, it's going to be a combined approach. So let's talk about how we should be looking at managing ryegrass as an arable root weed in a rotation. Firstly, your big problem is where you have a lot of monocultures, so continuous cropping. So like wheat after wheat after wheat, for example. So the first thing you should be considering then is your rotation. So thinking about breaking out your rotation, incorporating spring crops, stuff like spring barley, spring wheat, maize, those sort of things, to broaden your rotation that much more and build resilience within that rotation and help suppress those injurious grass weeds. So ryegrass being an injurious grass weed like blackgrass, this is a really good way of starting to manage this and starting to think about your cropping plan with this in mind, and looking at just kind of building a little bit of a safety net for yourself. Now, a lot of people are already doing this to help protect against blackgrass, so this will be nothing new for those who are already considering that. But for those who are now starting to experience ryegrass as a problem within their rotations, this is something that you should look at doing and going back to the drawing board, looking at your cropping plan a little bit more critically and seeing what you can do to help manage this risk. The second bit is adjusting your cultivation strategy. It could be that you're looking at reducing your cultivation strategy quite a bit or going no-till. I know there are plenty of people who are looking at taking on the no-till payment through the SFIs, the code here. And for those, it could be that you need to look at this a little bit more critically. Again, for those who are familiar with blackgrass control, they'll be thinking, yeah, I already know about this. But you need to be thinking about mixing up your cultivation strategy a little bit to help suppress these weeds further and kill them. Because going completely no-till, you're putting yourself in a higher risk category for exposure to these sort of grass weeds. So work with your agronomist, consider a cultivation strategy which is going to help restrict these injurious weeds long term, and ryegrass is only going to get worse and worse. Now we have confirmation that there is glyphosate resistance within a population. Third bit is really quite obvious given the fact that we're dealing with glyphosate resistant ryegrass. It's don't just use glyphosate, because that ain't going to do the trick anymore. You need to mix up your chemical regime a little bit with different active ingredients and look at managing this with not just one chemical. Again, this is where you need to work with your agronomist and build this into your rotation alongside a cultivation strategy, because, you know, chemical is not going to be the way you manage this solely. This needs to be a combined approach with different techniques and strategies. Again, those who've been dealing with blackgrass will be just nodding their heads in agreement here, going, yeah, the trauma is real. And it is, because those who are experiencing problems with ryegrass, you're going to have to do a lot of things similar to the guys who are dealing with blackgrass. Sorry. Another thing that you should be looking at avoiding doing is over-applying glyphosate ahead of drilling. All this is doing and serving to do is help build more resistance into ryegrass and give it more of an opportunity to protect itself against glyphosate and become more of a problem long term, and also, you know, not cultivating, just relying on that glyphosate and applying multiple applications. Look, the best way of kind of managing this is restricting your glyphosate use to where it really needs to be, and then where needed, cultivate alongside it to help restrict the opportunity to increase resistance within that population, but also then to just switch up your management strategies and give yourself more flexibility and, you know, protect yourself long term. Ultimately, what we need to do is apply the right strategies to manage this problem, to give companies the opportunity to bring out chemistry which can help us manage this more effectively long term, and not overuse that chemistry when it comes out, because that will only create more and more of a problem. The reason that this has become such a problem is just simply because of overuse of glyphosate. That's it. Lastly, get the most out of the efficacy of your control by ensuring that you're applying the correct dose. By reducing your dose and not getting that right, you will reduce efficacy, and also that leads to building up resistance long term as well. So make sure you get the dose right for what you're trying to target. This is again where you need to consult your agronomist to make sure that you're targeting things the correct way, with the right product, at the right dose, and at the right time. You guys are going to laugh at me for this, but I think it's really positive that we have found out now that there is a resistant species of ryegrass within the UK population. It's something that we've suspected for a long time now, and the fact that we have confirmation is only a positive thing, because it means that we can put risk mitigating strategies in place to help manage our crops long term. And also it means now that chemical companies can start looking at putting new products onto the market, or at least researching new products to help manage this problem long term. And hopefully, with the lessons that we are learning and have learnt with these injurious weeds, we will not over apply chemicals next time, or under apply chemicals and help build resistance. We will make sure that we get this right long term. So hopefully that has been useful to some of you. I really hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will catch you on the next one. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video. And if you want to see me on my other channels, please go and see me on my TikTok and my Instagram.